Good day, ladies and gentlemen, once again. Continuing from the previous recording on cost price, markup percentage, selling price. Now we are including this column of VAT and the marked price with some question marks again in between. But I just did not write them, but you can see in there's blank space, that's where we then need to fill in the blank. For this one, I just decided to only do two, but in the textbook, there are 4 scenarios on page 120 of the practical accounting textbook. And obviously, this is with a VAT that we are dealing with, is the same requirements. We are required to calculate the unknown in each of the cases that are given in the table, or in each of the following cases. So we have similar columns. Cost price, markup percentage, selling price, VAT at 15% currently, and markup percentage, marked price. We are in the first scenario given the amount of the cost price, and we are given 30% of the markup percentage on selling price. And remember, once again, if the markup percentage is on selling price, that means selling price is equal to 100%. Selling price is equal to 100%. So that means our cost price will be 100% minus markup percentage. So our cost price is 70% in this case, because our markup percentage is 30%. So cost price is 70%. Which is 100 minus markup percentage. Then from this 100% now, which is very lovely, we add 15, then the marked price will always be 115. I can write this one on top. It will always be out of 115 on top. But I'll be always erasing whenever I delete. It just delete most of the time everything. Now let us then begin in the scenario, and we do our calculations that are the missing figures. Then we have 84 Rand cost price. We are looking for a selling price. We also know that we cannot be able, from the cost price and the markup percentage, if the markup percentage is on selling price, we cannot be able to calculate our profit. Sorry for this one, it's a bit different now. I was also thinking of the previous one. We don't have the column of the profit. If you remember previously, there was a column of the profit. So this column is removed. Then you have selling price, VAT after, and markup percentage. So that means we can then calculate now from the cost price to the selling price, from the cost price to the selling price. So we are calculating our selling price. Our selling price, we must calculate from the rand amount we have, which is cost price. We have to times it by 100. Remember, in this case, selling price is 100%. Cost price is 70%. So we multiply by what we are looking for. We divide by the percentage of the amount we have. And the amount we have, the cost price, and the percentage of the cost price is 70. So that will give us the selling price. And again, remember our golden rule. Our golden rule, previously I did not call it a golden rule. 84 divided by 70 times by 100. This will give us 120 Rand. So our selling price is 120 Rand. Remember, our golden rule says if markup percentage is on selling price, therefore scenario number 1, selling price is equal to 100%. That is why we multiply by 100. Then that was the first scenario. And second, we said if markup percentage is on selling price, Scenario number 2, cost price is equal to 100 minus markup percentage, which is MP percentage. In this case, it will be 100 minus 30. That is why now our cost price is sitting at 70. And we divide it by 70, the percentage of the amount we have. So that is where the 120 Rand is coming from. Then we also said if MP percentage is on selling price, profit, but we don't have profit in this case. Profit is equal to selling price times by MP percentage. Profit is equal to selling price times by markup percentage. So we dealt with that in the previous scenario. In this scenario, we are not dealing with the profit column. Is not in this table we are dealing with. So there we have our 120 Rand that is provided for us. Now we have our 120, then now we need to go and calculate our VAT. We need to go and calculate our VAT. Obviously, VAT is 15% of the selling price times by 0.15. VAT is 15% of the selling price. This will give us 18 Rand. Then after 18 Rand plus 120, 18 Rand plus 120 will give us 138 Rand. I think these numbers I once used them when I was teaching this topic in class in the first quarter of semester 1 2024. Then we for now are done, but I want us to go back again. Remember my go back approach. We are looking for a markup percentage. I'm erasing the markup percentage now. We are looking for a markup percentage now. We are looking for a markup percentage. And what do we have? We have a cost price and we also have a selling price. Remember, markup percentage is not affected by the side of VAT. We only deal with the cost price and the selling price. So now we want to calculate the markup percentage. We know that is on selling price. So now when you calculate our MP, if you still remember, just erase this one. When we calculate our markup percentage, in other words, I'm assuming that we have a question mark in here. That's my assumption. We have a question mark and we are given selling price of 120 and we are given cost price of 120. So now what do? We say markup percentage is equal to profit is equal to profit. How do we get to profit? Profit is the selling price minus cost price. Profit is selling price minus cost price. We divide. What do we divide with? We are calculating markup percentage on selling price. Let me be clear on that one. So because it's on selling price, then we need to divide by the selling price. We are calculating markup percentage on selling price. So we need selling price, and our selling price, let us calculate it now. Selling price is 110, sorry, is profit of 120 minus 84 Rand. That gives us 36 Rand. So we are calculating our profit, remember, which is a selling price minus cost price. That gives us 36 Rand. What do we divide with? We divide by 120, which is selling price, because the markup percentage is on selling price. So 36 divided by 120 times by 100, it gives us 30%. Times by 100, don't forget that one, is equal to 30%. I'm doing this so that whatever scenario could be given to you, whichever number could be missing, you should be able to work it in any way or work it backwards. You will not always be given the same missing columns or cells. So we have covered this part and dealt with the rest of the numbers that were missing. In the second scenario, what are we given? We have a question mark here, question mark here, question mark. We have 3 question marks in this scenario. Markup percentage is given, but our marked price is 69 Rand. our marked price is 69 Rand. Now let us check if our marked price is 69 Rand. I'm not sure if I created these numbers correctly. I think the 69 Rand is quite small. I hope it was not meant for the VAT amount, but still we can work on that. Even if it's the VAT, it was supposed to be VAT amount. Just ignore the rounding off if the rounding off has any problems, but the concept will still be fine. Now we are given a markup percentage of 40% on cost price. And what else is given is only the amount that we are given at the end. So now if we are given the marked price, that amount includes VAT. That amount includes VAT. So this amount, as I mentioned, that is out of 115%. Is out of 115%. It's not sometimes, always. So we say 69 times by 15 over 115. So this will give us an amount of 9 Rand. So our VAT is 9 Rand. Our VAT is 9 Rand. Remember, our VAT percentage is 15%. I could have also put that on top because it does not change. This column percentage is 15. So we are looking for VAT. We say how much do we have? We have 69 Rand. We multiply by what we are looking for. What are we looking for? We are looking for 15. We divide by what we have. The percentage of the amount we have is 115. Then the answer should give us the amount that we are looking for. Is 69 times by 15 divided by 115, and this is 9 Rand. That is how we got to this correct amount of 9 Rand. Therefore, now we do have the amount of 9 Rand. We can move now to the selling price. We can move from here to the selling price or from here to the selling price. This one does not matter which one we use. You still get to the same correct amount. We know that in this column, if the markup percentage is on cost price, then in fact that one does not matter. Our selling price is 100% in this case. Our selling price is 100% when you move backwards. It's 100% when you move backwards. So now let us do the calculation in there. Let us first use the 9 Rand. It's not wise to use the amount that you calculated. Because if this amount is incorrect and your calculation from year to year are correct, so it's best that you use the amount that is already given, if possible. If it's not possible, then there's no other way. So now in this case, what do? We start with the 9 Rand. 9 Rand times by 100 divide by 15. This gave me 60 Rand. This gives me 60 Rand to say my selling price is 60 Rand. No, I think the 69 Rand was correct. I just thought of it. It was just too small. I normally use big numbers. So now we have 60 Rand. Remember, we are calculating selling price. When we move from the amounts of VAT, selling price is 100%. So now we are saying how much do we have is 9 Rand. Times by what we are looking for, which is 100. Then we divide by the percentage of the VAT amount, which is 9 Rand. 9 Rand comes from the 15 percentile column. That's why we divide by 15. So we said 9 divided by 15 times by 100. This gives us 60 Rand. That is where the 60 Rand comes from as the calculation of our selling price. Or else we could have used a different approach to calculate our selling price. We could have still said, we could have used the amount of 69 Rand and say times by 100 divided by 115. Let us see if does it give us the same 60 Rand. We say 69 Rand times by selling price of 100 divided by 115. It gives us the same amount of 60 Rand. So either way or either amount we use, it remains the same. Guys, very importantly here, you just need to memorize these numbers if perhaps you don't, because the formula is the same. Master the formula. What column do you multiply with? When does a column comes out of 100? And there's also other videos where I explained in details of multiplying what you are looking for and dividing by the percentage of what you have. So that is the second example that we have just finished now, or second scenario. Then we still now go to the other missing columns. Let us forget not that we have our markup percentage on cost price. Our markup percentage on cost price. So we need now to calculate our cost price. That is the missing amount. Then after calculating the cost price, then we need to calculate our markup percentage again, just to verify and be familiar with the calculation of the markup percentage when it is not given. Now we are therefore calculating our cost price. We know that our markup percentage is on cost price. And if our markup percentage is on cost price, therefore cost price is equal to 100%. So our cost price is equal to 100%. So our selling price, remember, it would have been cost price plus 40%. So this 60 Rand is out of 140%. This selling price of 60 Rand is out of 140 because we said cost price of 100 plus markup percentage of 40%. This is MP percentage of 40%. It will give us a selling price, and our selling price is equal to 140 in terms of percentage. So we know that this 60 Rand is out of 140. Why are we saying cost price is out of 100? Is because markup percentage is on cost price. Guys, I want to repeat this so that it really sinks to your mind so well that you dream about it. So now we are calculating cost price, which is the missing amount. How much do we have? We have selling price of how much? 60 Rand. So 60 Rand we multiply by what we are looking for. What are we looking for? We are looking for cost price. Cost price percentage is 100. We multiply by 100. We divide by the percentage of the 60 Rand. We said 60 Rand is out of 140. So we divide by 140. Then after we say 60 Rand times by 100 divide by 140. This gives us 42 Rand. Just verify that. 60 divide by 140 times by 100. This gives us 43 Rand. I'll just round it off. This gives us 43 Rands. So this is our cost price. This is our cost price when the markup percentage is on cost price in scenario number 2. Now let us take it then in the method of calculating the markup percentage now. We are calculating MP percentage. We know that MP percentage, which is markup percentage, is 40%, and it is on cost price. We are calculating that it will be profit. Remember the rule, profit divided by cost price. Why do we divide by cost price? Is because the markup percentage is on cost price. Then profit, how do we calculate our profit? Our profit is selling price minus cost price. Our cost price is already given. So now let us say selling price minus cost price. This will be minus 60 Rand. This will be 17 Rand. Let me say 43 minus 60 Rand. That gives us 17 Rand. Still remain the same as 17 Rand. Divide by cost price. Cost price is 43 Rands. Then we term this by 100. Then let us see, divide by 43 equals times by 100. When we round off this, it gives us 39.5, which is equivalent to our 40%. In the exam, most of the time, we try as much as possible to avoid the rounding off. Bear with me on that one. I would have also considered, but that is not a problem. we have 43 rand. The principle remain the same, but what you need to master is either is your markup percentage on cost price or is your markup percentage on selling price, and take all that into consideration in all your calculations. And again, as I mentioned, that there is also scenario number 3 and scenario number 4 in your textbook on page 120. But the markup percentage was always given at a cost price throughout in there. I just want to bring the other scenario, scenario number 4, because scenario number 2 I already dealt with it. Scenario number 4, let me just check on that. Scenario number 4, we have the VAT column amount and the markup percentage. Yes, we have the VAT column amount and the markup percentage. Let me just bring that one. The VAT column amount is given to us as 9 rand. So the 9 rand is given already for us in scenario number 4. So in other words, we are using the same example number 2, but we are saying on the last column we don't have anything. Under the 69 we don't have anything. We have a question mark, and we have a question mark here, and we have a question mark. So that is scenario number 4. The numbers obviously they are different than the one that I have. So how would we deal with this one if this was the situation? Obviously, we start from here, we move from here, we move forward, and from here backwards. The rest will be the same thing that we have done. So now we are looking for the marked price. We know that the marked price is out of 115. It's out of 115. So that will be 9 rand times by 115, what we are looking for, divide by the percentage of the 9 rand which we have, which is that one is 15. So that will give us the same 69. Then when we are calculating the selling price, we will say we have 9 rand times by 100. Whenever you come from the VAT amount or marked price, calculating selling price is always 100 when we move backwards. So it's 9 rand times by 100 divide by 15, and I think I did this. It gave us the same 60 rand. Or else, now that we have 69, we could have said 69 times by 100 divide by 115. That will give us the same 60 rand. Then we use the same principle to go backwards to calculate our cost price, which is selling price times by 100 divided by 140, because 40% would have been added. So that was scenario number 4 of the same exercise in terms of your number 4. Number 2 of that is already covered. Number 2 is already covered. Number 2, we have cost price. Selling price, we don't have markup percentage. So in scenario number 2, which is not this number 2, the one that I did not include, another scenario, we are given the cost price and we are given the selling price. This is missing, and the rest are missing, and the rest are missing. And we dealt with this. We first have to calculate our markup percentage, which is 30%, by saying 36 rand. If you remember, 36 was 84 minus MP percentage on selling price. We said 36 is the profit, divide by 120 times by 100 is equal to 30%. That's how we go to 30%. So that is how we would have calculated other scenarios. Just a reminder, 36 over 120, there's your 30%. Just to show you the different scenarios when you practice on page 120, that this is how you'll deal with this. With these words, guys, thank you very much. I hope you were working with me while I was busy working, because I was continuously erasing. But if you are working with me, then you would have had all the answers that I dealt with, and even more than the answer that were given in here. With those words, thank you very much. Don't forget to subscribe on my channel, and also like the videos. I would like to get your likes. Thank you very much, and comment if it was wonderful, and thumbs up, please do so. And tell your friends also to subscribe.